That was 50 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Rail scratch, pumping out your sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. In the neon glow, where is best, the culture rich, where is sense. In the morn of grace, we'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. The cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic in the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Sorry I am 15 minutes late, but I ended up wanting to share a thing today. We have something new, that, if you have been watching, content from me, I had to really edit the simple layout, um, no. Alright. I had to change some things within the settings. I wanted to really, first off, the South Dakota, I feel like South Dakota, or I feel like South Dakota is going to probably be the next one. Maybe we might see, like, a couple of these maps come out. They'll still be separate, paid DLC. But I feel like that Illinois and another state's going to be right there on the heels, that they're going to have these couple of DLCs coming up and coming out. Now, of course, we are having to change some things within things, because I have to have chat open. I did not get this thing set up properly right away. I am very, very sorry about this. It's like, I'll tell you, I'm not perfect at doing this. Because normally I would have all this set up, and then, but I ended up forgot about. I popped into the game, and realizing that I forgot there was something I wanted to share my mom with. On a thing. So, but, and I know, that somewhere along the line, I have to drop TikTok here for a second because it needs to be. There we go. And then I'll send you over to American Truck just to make sure that it's properly set up and properly done right. I wish I could reduce the chat window. But that's okay. Anyway, we're gonna load the game up here. Now of course, I wanted to really come out and say that a lot of stuff that yeah, I had to make sure I switched the title properly and stuff. Okay. Now I need to go into the options. Input controller switch pro. Yeah, they know what they know the controller. They consider this a Switch Pro controller. It is not a Switch Pro controller. It is just a regular Switch. I'm looking for the radio. Okay. And then we do that. Because there's no point in me not having this. Let's set up. Now, now, let's go to our cargo market. We're now here. Remember, guys, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska. There won't be any point in me grabbing these 6 states. If this comes out, if South Dakota comes out right away, I want to be the first to hop into that, because we need to hop into getting a lot of these things for it. And of course, I love everything about the American truck driving except for the truck itself, in the way of maneuvering. I like the trucks. I love the culture for it. You know, I notice because of me playing a lot of American truck, I notice a lot more different types of trucks now that here in the United States that I didn't realize I knew about. We're gonna take this Winnemucca to Denver. Now it's 14-hour trip time, where it's almost 4:30. We could also take this one as well. Now I want to look at. Let's do price per distance though. We want the other one, the price per distance. Going to Fresno, California is a better price per distance. That only gives us the a for 2 hours longer. Um, going to Vancouver, Washington. Is there? Um, Now the other one that I wanted to take, um, was to Denver, and I haven't been to Denver yet. Let's take this one. All right. Just so that I can access it a lot easier. So I can do it right in game and just pull up the music player. Um, Now this one I'm only gonna pick the international brand. I'm only gonna pick the international here um for it. Now of course um because I'm like one of those people that I will take. I don't want to be stuck all the way. I want to go and see some sights and some. Thanks, yo mama, for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. Um, you know, I always love the ability to um yeah, I just gotta remember um I just gotta remember that um this is the thing that I don't quite fully understand a lot of the nuance of driving. Now, of course, the reason why I pick American truck and the reason why I pick Euro truck and the reason why I do it this way is because I want to be able to experience just the differences. And I've been one of this person that loves driving um, in both an American truck and a Euro truck. To be honest, um, and driving in America, like I know how to drive in America a lot as well, a little bit. Like I still have the problem of overturning when I shouldn't. Um, but with driving like this, um, Um, and so I'm one of those people that I just love the aforementioned availability of just enjoying the the game itself. I absolutely find that American Truck and Euro Truck are the greatest games of all time for one of the greatest games of all time. They're within my, like, if I could go in and rank my top 20 games of all time, these would be up there in the top 20. Um Both of them would be there. Your truck would be above American Truck though, but they would be right next to each other in ranking. To be honest, like it's like Europe, and American Truck. Like I I absolutely find that I remember back in the day that I could find Mexican. I could go down to Mexico, if I wanted to, and take goods from America to Mexico. I can do that here in going to Canada with pro mods. So I am somebody that loves the pro mods. I love the appropriation of not only pro mods, but I love the way that I can just mod the game to make it better. Um, and I love just the attention to detail that that these guys do. You know, American Truck is just such fantastic. Now, of course, um, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, I want to show you guys something. Um, Down here, they are going to have somewhere in the middle of the state of South Dakota. They're gonna have Huron here in the middle of the state. They're gonna have, apparently they're gonna have probably have Huron. They're gonna probably have Mitchell, um, for the Corn Palace, at least. They are also gonna have Sioux Falls. They're gonna have Wall and Deadwood out here. Then up here, then they're gonna have at least Watertown up here. So, and I'm pretty sure when they get up here, they will have Fargo, but they're probably not going to have more. They're gonna have Fargo up here, for North Dakota, but they're not gonna have the city on the other side of the state, of Minnesota. But we don't know what they're gonna do in Minnesota. We know that at least Minneapolis will be there because it's a major city. They will also have Rapid City in here as well. They're gonna have Bison. There's gonna be some things in the state that are gonna be there. I just hope that that at least if they do American stops, at least if they do South Dakota, they at least need to have the truck stop down by, on their way down to going to Iowa, on I-90, or I-29. Sorry, I-29, not I-90. Sorry, I gotta get those things properly done because I-90 is going from, I-90 is going from east to west. I-29 is going from north to south. I gotta remember my directions a little bit, but if they can do that, they will be fantastic for American Truck. Those, like, I know that state more than I know any other state. To be honest, it's the only state that I know the most about because I grew up there. Didn't I would am ashamed to have grown up there though, but it's not. I'm not too ashamed, I guess, of growing up there. I just don't like what's going on right now. I'm ashamed of South Dakota right now. Not that I grew up there, per se. Um, Am I struggling today? I must be struggling today to see. I must be very tired today. I must have been looking at a lot of content. Because my eyes are really worse today than they were yesterday. But I want to really preface a couple of things. That within a lot of driving, I love the attention to the way that American truck is vastly open. The reason why I give American truck slightly less than Euro truck, and they're both by the same company. It's no fault to the developers. It is no fault to them. It is just the drivability in Europe that I just like so much better. The attention to detail. They do well for the attention to detail. Pro Mods is more active. Like, they are working up on Canada, I hope. They got some more stuff, since I think just being able to do Canada, and I'm pretty sure there's another map developer out there that has worked on Mexico, and I used to use that map mod, but I don't anymore because I didn't have a lot of content back then at the time. I just wanted to be able to go to Mexico, and so now that I have a lot of states to drive through, Canada. I always use Pro Mods. I will always use Pro Mods. This is the one thing I don't like about it, is that I have to pull into a way station. I don't get why in America we have to pull into way stations, but I'm pretty sure it just has to do with but I do like that. If there was an accident there, in a place, like there was an accident between the two race stations, they can use that, or if they need to fix a road, fix a pothole or something, they can just have people go around through their way station, and that there are some things that I don't mind in driving in America. Here I just love that, that we have the ability and the ability to just relax and enjoy and talk about things as we go, and talk about the things. Now, of course, for those of you who are not in America, there is this one thing that I always like to really preface, is that most of you probably already know about America anyway, but there was this thing where I'm going to tell you that I really want the Epstein files fully released, fully unredacted, completely, unless it doesn't matter who's on those lists. Like, I am somebody that like these files that Trump basically decided not wanting to fully release them. We could have just had all these files fully released, and if I was president, I would fully release these without any issue. Because, to be honest, like, if Trump's in these files, I want Trump released. I want all the files released. I want Trump's name released if he's in there. If this whole thing is a hoax, then why aren't you going to release them? If it's a hoax and fake, why don't you release them? Because you're afraid of what's in them. You're afraid that people are going to take your thing for it. I will tell you, like, I am somebody that it doesn't matter. It's like if I make a mistake, I'm going to try to own up to my mistakes and try to fix them. I'm not perfect. There are some times where I have doubled down on my mistake, or doubled down on something and continue to lie about it. But it's times where that okay, I need to be better about making sure that I'm telling the truth and not just lying. You know, and one of those things that basically that I did a lot in my younger years was mostly like, guys, like I am somebody that if you go look at my second channel, Matty Man Sneakers, you know, I am somebody that's out there, that I built that channel. I built that channel based around around sneakers. But I am one of those people that back in the day I did not I was not perfect at and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was not perfect at what I did back then. You know, there were points in my life where I did not do things properly, but I was also somebody that was a rebellious teenager, and there were things that I shouldn't have done that I did, and just one of those things was related to clothing and stuff, and it's like, going out and stealing people's things is not something you should really do. But getting into this Trump thing, it's like I would make sure that if something that the right wants to hold me accountable for, great, that's fine. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, there's this thing where I wanted to share with you guys that there's this thing where if you look at a lot of things going on through what Trump's doing, he's basically, he said that he was gonna end the crisis on eggs, reduce the egg prices. Sometimes he will say the opposite of what he actually is, of actually what's going on. He will opposite, like, people don't want a dictator, but people will, but it's like, I don't want a dictator, I don't want people like that. He's basically, yesterday he flew they had done a aerial overview of the White House, when these people who basically were out there, and these people are saying they're gonna release the people, and if they're going to release it to defame people, I'm all for that, because to defame people that are even left or right, to hurt them, I don't care. The Epstein files are not something that I absolutely want to see anybody being destroyed. I don't want to see anybody being destroyed, but I also don't want to see innocent people get away. See innocent people getting away with not getting what they deserve, not what they need. Needing the opportunity for them to get that closure, to get the things that they absolutely desire for. It's like it's like the one thing I'll always say is, if you have made, and if you have done something innocent, I mean not innocent, if you have done something um where you have committed a crime or committed something against the law, guess what? You're not just going to be held accountable by the law of your country. You're going to be held accountable by God. And you're going to be held accountable. If you say that this Epstein file is a hoax, you're going to say that it's a hoax only to get your butt off of your tail before it. And in reality, you won't get your butt off. You won't get your butt off if God's right there, and if God came and asked you to confess to these things and says, I know what you've done, and I know everything. He knows everything about you. He knows more about you than you think. You may think that you can get away with something. You won't. You won't. But that doesn't mean but that doesn't mean that you're gonna have anything problematic in your daily decision that goes on with what you do. If you have an issue with something going on in the going on, you're thinking that you may be able to get away with things because the law doesn't do much. They don't do much. It's like, I was watching I was watch Only in Japan Go. I'm kind of like leaning not watching, but I do, only because he's not very political on a lot of things. He tries to stay away from it, even though yes, he might be supportive of somebody. I need to pull into this way station. Arg. Why do they call it the port of entry when it should just be called, way station? Literally. In places, like, they call it the way station. The Bonneville Salt Flats. But it's that thing where and he didn't have any ounce of care for the victims yesterday, for the Epstein list, the Epstein people, the Epstein survivors, the victims, as well, whatever you like to call it. Thanks, Yo Yostin Reyes, for joining the Trovo stream, and for the TikTok stream, and thanks Caitlin Gazzo for joining. Thank you. Um, but it's the same thing as like it's the same thing as when you go and you look at uh, I don't remember what else I was gonna talk about. And for some of you who don't know or who might not understand, we have this thing called the Second Amendment, which guarantees the right to bear arms, the guarantee the right to have a militia, pretty much. And one of the things that within the thing, it basically guarantees that everybody has that right. Now, of course, you may look at the Annunciation Church, you may look at shootings here going on in America and say that we can stop it. They can try, but if you actually really think about what happened with the Annunciation Church, they basically, the person, I'm not gonna put the names out there, I'm not gonna do it, you guys can go look it up, but if that shooter basically hit through the windows, nothing's gonna stop somebody from having a requiring to have basically be having the you can't stop the thing. Oh well, now you have to use bulletproof glass. But then what about a religious standard? Because a religion has to have it built a certain way. There is issues. And there are issues where sometimes things happen, and things sometimes can be out of our control, and they're like, you can mitigate all you want. You can mitigate by utilizing the metal detectors and things like that, doing it like they do with the government. Well, if you start looking at the government issue of a lot of things, there's nothing that's there's some things that are problematic with that. It does not stop a shooter, okay? Because all it's going to do is it's not going to stop if having armed guards in our schools aren't going to stop the shooters. They're going to find a way to do it somewhere else. They're going to take it away from our schools, and then it's going to be somewhere else. Then we're going to have to consistently border up everything, and then we're going to not have any sense of safety going anywhere. And we're gonna have this issue. It's like there's gonna be, at what point are these things going to be out there? I don't know much more details on this church thing. I don't know much anything more than what I am telling you now. That there is this thing that's out there that I cannot tell you how many times that we've had shootings all go on. There are shootings almost every day here in America. Almost every day there's a shooter. There's a shooter in almost every major city out there. And even then there are still shooters out there that aren't even in major cities. And we have almost a shooter along every day. And I'm guaranteeing you there's and you won't be able to, like, having sensible gun laws will do some mitigation. Okay? It will do some mitigation, but it's not going to do a complete mitigation. It's not going to be doing a complete mitigation, but it's going to... Okay, we're going to have to go this way. Oh, hold on. Nope. Actually, yeah, I'm going the right way. I'm gonna get the one that's not flashy, because I really think that having the flash... See, I think I might change that, and because I'm always constantly hitting that, and I could use it still to hold it back to release. Like, yeah, that brings it up, but holding it, I could have a thing where it would bring up the, Why? Got some fog going on, and I'm pretty sure, that the more that you look at the Second Amendment and look at it, it's like you want to get rid of it for some, and say, okay, well, these people can't have guns now. Okay, that's still not gonna stop somebody from getting a gun. Somebody who may transition, who has a gun now, they're not going to try to give it up. They're going to think, because what now they're wanting to get rid of anybody who has a mental illness, including trans people. Trans people are not mentally ill. There are a lot of factors. Okay, when you look at a trans person, you look at things. There is a lot of things that go on with being mentally unstable. There's a lot of things, okay? You aren't just transgender because it's a mental issue. Okay? There are people out there that have a lot worse mentally. There are people out there that have made there are a lot of people out there that have made there are a lot of people out there that have made mistakes. There have been a lot of people out there that come on, people. No. I had my headlights on. I thought. I guess not. But it's one of those things that I will go out and say this, that look, I don't go out there and harm people just to because I'm trans. I'm not transgender. I'm not gonna go and as a trans person, I'm not gonna go out there and try to harm people. There's a lot of other there are a lot of other things out there. And there's this issue that just because you're a trans person, okay, you're not inherently you're not gonna be an inherently bad person. Nobody is inherently a bad person, because you look at it, nobody, like, everybody starts out as not being bad. Everybody who is born are born not evil, are born just fine and dandy. Okay? But there are things that can constitute changing someone's and are going to change someone's way of life and way of thinking. Okay, you have to look at that. There's a lot of factors that turn into having problems. Okay, there are going to be a lot of factors that go into it. You can't just rely on saying video games are bad, or saying that trans people are bad, or saying that black people are bad, or an identity is bad. Okay, you cannot justify one thing relating to this. You cannot ban guns for trans people and then say that guns are inherently bad because it's a problem. Look, the problem is okay, you ban guns for these trans people, then okay, they're gonna find a way to get access to them because because they're gonna find ways to get around these things. Nobody thinks these things through. Nobody really thinks about it. It's like you look at UK, or like I always mention UK because it's one of those things that's recently fresh in my mind. They're having a lot of knife attacks. They don't have guns, but they have a lot of knife attacks, and now they're criminalizing knives in some fashion or another for certain things, and now there's a inherent issue. They're trying to, like, you want to try to stop violence, you can't stop it. Okay? You cannot stop the violence. You can try to reduce that violence. You can try to shift, to do things like that, but you aren't going to be able to stop the violence as long as Satan's around. Okay? As long as Satan's around, you're still going to have to contend with him. And you have to contend with him. And we shouldn't really be banning things just because it's a bad thing. Well, there's gonna be a lot of people out there that Satan is going to make people think certain ways. You know, there have been many times where where I've gone through in my life that I have listened to Satan many times, because and I have learned to realize that I need to be better about not and more listening to God in a lot of things. And that's where we need to be focused. We need to focus our mind and our stuff on God as much as we can. It doesn't mean that we're perfect. It doesn't mean that sometimes we might have somebody there nagging on us to do something that we shouldn't. Of course, they're going to go out there and there's a lot of things out there that do make issues and make things that are out there. And one of those things that tends to be that tends to get a lot of people into a lot of trouble is that issue. And sometimes there are some mentally unfit and mentally unwell people because of autism, you know? For some people, a lot of people think that autism is inherently a bad issue, a bad thing. And to me, it's like, yeah, I don't want a gun, but I don't want, because there's that inherent risk of me doing something bad. And I don't, and I know that. That's why I don't. But at the same time, I don't want guns being banned just because I don't want a gun, just because I think that I shouldn't have it. It's we gotta know in our personal daily thing. It's like, I don't care. You can have a gun. You can have things that are out there that you, as a human being, can have. But if you start taking it away for somebody, then I should start taking away. You know, it's the same thing. It's like I always talk about that. I've talked about this a lot recently, where if you talk about coffee or tea, and let's say that, okay, let's get rid of your coffee, let's get rid of your tea, let's ban it altogether. Thanks Nugget for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. It's one of those things where where um um yeah, I know I can go 80 miles an hour, but I'm gonna pick it up to 70. I'm gonna pick it up to 70. Yeah, we got this car up here. I'm just gonna have to continue to contend with that, but it's like I always tell you guys, it's like you need okay, let me go to Garage Manager here real quick. We're gonna upgrade you. because we have the money, and we need to start thinking about getting a couple more drivers um in so that we can let me go to media. No, let me go to services. Check the bank. I have outstanding loan. Declaration. I have a 251,000 on that. I forgot. I shouldn't have upgraded. I should have. But it's one of those things where, you know, it's not in no way of an inherently a bad person for wanting to have a gun, and it's in no way that if you want to go out and have a gun or have that inherent issue, um, you know, there's an inherent issue with things in this in mental health. And mental health is one of those things where we have to address it. But remember, you get rid of trans people because of the issue with mental health, and you get rid of it because of that. Well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, there's still going to be that problem. There's still going to be a problem, not because of somebody who is transgender. There are going to be white people that are going to be, and they say, oh well, it's these drugs. The drugs are the problem. The drugs are the problem. Drugs aren't the problem. The problem is that you don't want to admit the problem. You don't want to go out and actually figure out that, hey, it's mental health, and we need to start taking about and start teaching people about the signs of these things. Start figuring it out, paying more attention to the social media, because they didn't pay any ounce of attention to the social media at the Annunciation Church. If there are any, they don't, and it's hard to do so and pay attention to everything that goes on. But it's like you can figure those things out. You can make better decisions through it all. You can't just really you literally cannot expect somebody to make some problems. Like I'm gonna tell you, it's like you think that you're completely safe. Like, you are more safe living in Japan than you are here in America. And I'm not saying that just to be problematic. There are still problems even in one of the safest countries. You can still have problems. You can still have crime, but it's just going to be less of it and less of an issue. But when you compound things of when you compound the issue of, oh, did I need to what we will do Let's go down to that truck stop up here. Next checkpoint, drip time 3 hours. They're gonna have to realize that I'm gonna have to get some rest. Thanks Tristan for joining the. Thanks Tristan's. Thanks Tristan16 for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. Ugh. I need to really get my drops in my eyes. I should do that before I. But it's like they don't seem to really think about that anything can become a problem. Okay. Anything can become a problem. Problem. Anything can be a problem within it. You can blame video games all you want. You can blame whoever you want to blame, but you're not gonna fix the problem. You ban video games, great. Okay, gun violence is you're gonna still have crime. Iron skillet. Okay, we'll get over into our next area. We just needed rest. We have enough gas that I can get to the next area. That guy can literally go. They're gonna all let me go. Kenworth. Taking, I hope that's a Kenworth truck taking some Kenworth stuff to Kenworth. But, thanks Ricards for joining the TikTok live. Thank you. But it's like they don't seem to really understand on any of the problems that it's like they've blamed TV. When TV was invented, they blamed TV for problems. They when radio was invented, they blame music for they still to this day will go out and blame music or blame video games or blame violent TV or whatever. They're going to still go and blame. Mostly they blame the video games now. And it's like they don't understand that you blame something. You blame video games. Guess what? Take them away. Guess what? You're gonna have a whole heap of people going after you for it. And when you do, you're still going to then realize that, okay, now what? You got rid of trans people, okay? You got rid of video games. Now what? Guess what? Did you know that you're still going to have crime because you have alcohol? They don't think this one straight. Think this one through. They're still going to be, you get rid of guns. Crime's still going to happen. They're just going to find other means to doing it. They're like, recently there's been a lot of people that have been just constantly, the news is constantly talking about it in my area, where we have a lot of incidences over the weekend. We had a lot of incidences. We had a lot of crime over the weekend, and that a lot of that crime just compounds and it just makes it even worse for a lot of people wanting to come to a location. You know, and it doesn't mean that you look at crime. You look at Chicago. They're wanting to bring the military into Chicago to get rid of the crime. But they're going out there intimidating. But here's what I would do. If it were me, I'd go out and figure out a way to, you know, if I lived in a red state, I'd figure out a way to start, if you're blue, I would consider you start figuring out a way to start getting somewhere. And you start pushing. You start pushing the values that these people want to see. And you start seeing action and seeing that, and also making sure that you stoop to their level and actually do what Gavin Newsom's doing. And figuring it out how to prevent these things from going on and preventing these things from happening. You know, if a solution works, wouldn't you wanna find that solution? Wouldn't you wanna correct that solution? Wouldn't you wanna replicate that? I should say, wouldn't you want to replicate that solution? Make that solution a lot better? Bring that solution going out from what needs to be said and what needs to be done? Two-hour trip time. But I gotta do a thing real quick. I'll probably, after I get figuring things out, I gotta go and check the, like, for me, you know, keeping my eyes on the road is one of those things that I do. And guys, if you guys are enjoying yourselves, remember to hit that subscribe. Remember to hit that subscribe, hit that like. It is greatly appreciated. If you guys are watching on TikTok or Drovo, make sure you hit that follow. And if you're on TikTok, share the stream out, guys. It is really Okay, so it might have me go that way. McDonald's. And the equality state. What state are we in that's... Wyoming's not an equality state. The equity, maybe, but the equality, no. Because I gotta go and start the oven so that I can... Because I'm creating I'm having some chicken breasts for supper. And only because, it's cold in our house right now, and it's starting to become to a point, it's a little bit chilly. It's not like it's not like I have lost... Really? You're gonna have me miss pulling in. You're gonna have me pull into that station. I will incur that they're gonna have me go that way and I need to go this way. And it's like, they want me to pass in by a way station. I will concur. It's like, you didn't tell... You, oh, I failed the thing. It's like, I know, but there's construction. Like, typically in real life, you know, they should have told me to go check the way station there, but they didn't tell me that. They told me here. And I'm like, I'm just gonna take that 700 process, because it's like, you didn't tell me I need to check the way station. And now you're telling me to go check the way station when you could have told me back there. Ugh. It's sometimes I will take the $700 not hitting that way station just in a game. And like in real life, they would tell you that you need to go into a certain area. Alright, I gotta... But... Now I will pull into like a way station. Like, I wouldn't pull into multiple way stations. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that um the if they were gonna have me pull in back here at this way station, why didn't they wait until have me pull into here? It's just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's only at 4%. No, I'm not even going that way. I'm going around you. We're almost there, so probably 5:45. But I gotta make sure I get stuff done because my mom's got a class to teach. So I am, cause I gotta go do a thing real quick. So guys, I will be right back. Give me about like 15. Give me about like a couple minutes. And I'll be right back. Um, okay. We're next exit. Not the Sterling exit, but the next one. Exit 216B, or it's 215 or 217. The next exit. Oh no, wait, what? How is this 24? How is this junction 214? It's like in a game like this, I would have. Well, I guess if that's 216A, there was probably at least between the two. There's probably a little bit there, so they probably follow a lot. But because my next one, because I wanna, if I ever do pick up a, we are in Washington, right? I want to pick up a Colorado business down here. I want to have a couple of businesses in a little bit of area. I'd probably do it in Denver. I'd probably, pick a good, decent location for a lot of this. Yeah, coming off the highway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd probably take the decoupling. I would probably put the decoupling. I would probably put, if the home button I wish I could map the home button. I'm in a hurry though. We're actually pretty much neck and neck with thanks SCG6 for joining. We're not 27 to do that. I gotta see what this vehicle is. Oh, it's Toyota. Haha. Uh-huh. Literally, I get in a lot of trailer damage just by it surely. Here. You know what? Let's go to services. Um, yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. I don't mind spending a little bit of cash. Okay. And then we're going to do the service recommended. And then we'll take these two. And we'll confirm that. Okay. Little bit of CG5. Alright. Yeah, no, I thought I hit the E key. Um, for it. No, we made it to 41. Okay, so we're gonna look at international international. It's only at 52. Okay. The only one here is this Western Star at even the international. This international day cab is only being sold for $10 for $10,000. I can get another truck. If you go to driver manager, I am in the international. I am driving an international here. Now I'm going fully. We have 2 full international Lone Stars. I'd like to see if I can get another international Lone Star. But if we have that international, there, I couldn't do it because I would I would have to go and do things. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me for today. For this stream. If you guys want to see more content and want to see it, you guys can come back tomorrow, for some American Truck Simulator. For it, we'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you guys stay safe. Out there. I know it's hard to do that wherever you are in the world. Just keep yourself in check a little time. You still need to don't need to be actively worried super much when you live in places, but still need to be some sort of that. You also need to make sure that listen to Midas Touch, listen to some of the Midas Canada, listen to Charlie Angus, and a few of these other people out there. They most likely are good people, and they are doing what needs to be done. So, and make sure that you do listen to some independent media and other places as well. But I will tell you this: if you guys want to see content for some Fortnite, we'll do that tonight. Maybe some American Truck before, but it all depends on what my mom is doing tonight and what's going on with that. So, anyway, we will catch you guys, later. I still love retro wave music. Today is the 4th. It'll be live 9/4/2025. And we will see you guys later. Make sure you guys are followed. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Remember, subscribing on YouTube is free. Trovo is not. Trovo, basically, you do get some cool emotes and stuff, and watching some stuff behind from previous streams. This stream will be free. The rest of them will not be. I will literally do that right after I get done off this to put them back behind a paywall for it. But hey, hopefully we'll be on time tomorrow. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I have my alarm set for 3, so then I can say, okay, I have an hour to make sure that I get things set up, get the thumbnail, make sure that if there's anything that I need to listen to get you guys some good content. Thanks, Ben, for joining the TikTok live. I am always live every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5:36, depending. Saturday, not live. Sunday, same time. Until next year, possibly. Next year, I might take 3:30 till... might take that off, because it's going to be from 1:30 to 3:30, and I'd have to get home, change, and get on, and I don't want to do that right after church. So, next year, that won't happen at that thing on Sunday, but for now, it'll be that way for at least until the end of December. And then night streams, guys, are every night from 9 till 2, except for Saturday. Saturdays are from 9 to 1. So anyway, we will catch you guys later.